Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. Today I would like to talk a little bit about the preparation I am going to need to do in my garden in order to put the bell tent up. Now, the reason I need to prepare my garden is that I want a space that I can properly maintain the canvas so that when I go away in the tent, I know that I can come home and pitch it again outside in order for it to dry off before it's then put away. So for me, a really important thing when choosing the size of the tent that I was able to have, which was the 5 meter, was that it would fit pitched in my garden. Also, I have children. We like to pitch the tent and play during the summer. It's absolutely free. It costs nothing to play camping in the garden, which is obviously fabulous. But I do think it's important to be able to pitch your tent and dry it out. I do have a very small house. The other option is that you are able to lay the canvas out in your house, but we do not have a separate dining area. We simply have one living area. So we cannot dedicate a room in the house where we could lay out the tent to dry. So the only option really is the garden. So before I'm able to film my tent pitching or tent being up videos and show you the tent, I have a lot of preparation to do in my garden. I am going to, or I have already actually, filmed a video where I'm walking you around the garden. Now, at the moment I'm speaking to you via my PC microphone, which is much better quality than the microphone we have on the camera. I am using a borrowed camera. This is something I'm hoping to rectify, but I'm using a borrowed camera, and please bear with me. The following clip that you're about to see, where I talk about what preparation I need to do in my garden, there is some wind noise. So I have since learnt how to remove that, or at least lessen it slightly, during filming rather than afterwards, which is not always successful. So in future there shouldn't be so much wind noise, but please bear with me during the following clip. I'll talk to you in a second. Hello, so now we're outside and this is the garden that I have available to me at the moment. Now, it's a work in progress, so you have to use your imagination. But here we are with the half-built patio. I say half-built because we've partially dug the trench at the side. Now it is doing its best to grow back in, but we did that last summer, ready for a small patio wall, and that's going to come to about here-ish to level with the concrete sections here. Then the dirt that we dug out to build this patio, which I was actually really naughty, I had only just given birth and I came out here and just started, I'm going to make a patio. So I started digging the patio, and I started putting the dirt over here. Now, this huge dirt pile actually runs up the length of the garden, and on the side of the garden it actually goes all the way to the back of the garden. Now, it's very overgrown, so it is difficult to see it at the moment. But what I'm planning on doing with that is, that's my dog, actually levelling some of this slope off. So we're going to reuse the dirt, level it, spread it across the garden so that it's never going to be perfectly level, but if we can at least build up this section a bit so it comes to the wall height when we get the wall, then that will be levelled off. And I'm just going to get the dog in. I'll be back in a minute. Right, I just want to show you quickly the little trailer. It is very small. I don't know if you can get an idea of what it is like, but it is a really little one. I did paint it up last year, but this is what's going to take most of my gear, so it's going to be a real challenge to get everything in. The tent will go in the boot, but then the car cab is going to be packed with people and a dog. So this really, and a small roof box, is what's going to be my challenge to fit everything into. I thought I'd just show you that while I'm here. So if you follow me, I will give you the grand tour. we've got bits and pieces around the garden that we do want to get rid of and to burn. Obviously we've got the swing. This moves about the garden and can be moved anywhere. But for drying out purposes and testing purposes, the 5 metre bell tent is going to go here. Because this is the biggest space. We have measured it. It's more than 7 metres wide. I'll put the feet conversion on the screen for you. But it is more than 7 metres wide, so a 5 metre bell tent should fit perfectly fine. The only problem is, obviously, I still have this dirt pile, and this is going to be in the way for pitching. So I'm feeling under pressure because I want this gone for April, which is when we're having the bell tent party here. I'm feeling under pressure to get this levelled across the garden and get the grass seed on it so the grass can start growing. So it will look fabulous, I'm sure, but it doesn't look fabulous right now. It looks fabulously horrific. So there's obviously, that is quite a problem playing on my mind. I have started levelling this bit. We had quite a dip here. A couple of years ago I levelled an even bigger dip over there. Now this way, my vision later on is that we use these. I did plan on building a shepherd's hut for the garden at one point, but I've gone down the bell tent route. So I bought these as the shepherd hut roof. But I'm now planning on building a pergola with a covered-in roof at the top of the garden up the back. And then this space here will be used for a small bell tent. I'm thinking 3 metre. That's not going to be for a little while, but it'd be nice to have a bell tent that stays up all through the summer, that the children can play in. My son actually really dislikes, he's autistic and he really dislikes being outside, so I'd like to make him a little inside space outside, and that the daughter can run in and out of, and it'll just be fantastic. Have a little fire pit outside. So that's the long-term plan for that area. Now up here is kind of gets abandoned. As you can see, we've got the trampoline. It needs a good clean up. It does get cleaned every year, but every UK garden with children pretty much has one of these. And generally they look like this because, hey, British weather. But yes, that needs a good clean up this spring, ready for the children to use. And this is, well, is a shed. We have lots of lovely trees here, so obviously it gets covered in bird mess, but the trees are beautiful, and that tree in particular I absolutely love and adore. It was recently thinned, I think last summer, which means I actually get grass grow in this space now. I've got the peach tree at the back of the garden there, that makes very few peaches, but it's a peach tree, it's pretty. So here is the leftover slabs from building the patio, which I do plan on using for shed bases and things like that. They will get used, but they're not being used just yet. But we've got beautiful snowdrops coming up here. So I was really pleased when I saw these. I haven't planted them, they're just wild. Absolutely stunning. So follow me behind the shed. Try not to trip over as you come. But this again is somewhat abandoned. Often a few years back this was actually just covered in brambles and you couldn't walk around here. It was so overgrown, and each year I tend to cut it back and it gets better and better. So this is AstroTurf, and I was lucky enough to be given it. I'm planning on using it. It is secondhand. Let me just add that, it's secondhand, and someone was ripping it up from their garden. They were ripping it up and I said, what are you doing with it? They said, oh, we're just going to dump it. I said, no, it's so expensive. I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet, but I will use it. So I've got the AstroTurf which is in actually fairly good condition. It will just need laying and cleaning up. And I've got the membrane underneath, which is a really good quality membrane under there, which I plan on putting under the space where the bell tent will go, the small 3 metre over in the corner that I showed you earlier. Plans might change, but this is what I'm thinking at the moment. This shed is moving. This is not going to stay here. This is the space in which I would like the pergola and a nice seating area, and to put a camp kitchen up here. It's nice and far away from the house, which is lovely. Under the trees, I feel like I've gone on holiday in the woods. It's really lovely. So the garden is somewhat wild at the moment, but trust me, it was worse at one point. But we will get there, and hopefully I'll share the progress with you. The channel's not going to all be about the garden, but it'll be nice to share the progress, and I've got motivation to get it all finished now because the bell tent is coming and I'm really excited. So I hope you didn't find the wind noise on that clip too frustrating. I just thought I would let you know before I sign off that I will be doing a video next on all of the things that I have been purchasing ready for the bell tent. I have been selling some of my older tent gear, the things that look more camping and less glamping, and trying to replace them with things that would fit more with the theme of the bell tent. As you can see in the background, I have bought a couple of little bits, some throws for the bed. In a moment you will see a bargain kettle that I picked up secondhand. Some of the stuff is secondhand, some of it's new, but I will be covering every item and more than you see on the screen right now in my next video. Take care everybody. Bye.